Part 4 of this module explores using multisensory activities to support reading. Multisensory approaches are important because research has shown that after 2 weeks, we tend to remember 10% of what we read, 20% of what we hear, 30% of what we see, 50% of what we see and hear, 70% of what we say, and most importantly, 90% of what we say and do. Multisensory activities incorporate all senses into the learning process and activate different parts of the brain simultaneously. This enhances memory and the learning of written language. Multisensory activities involve the use of our senses, primarily visual, auditory, and kinesthetic tactile elements, which is our sense of touch. Multisensory provides many ways for understanding new information. It means that we have more ways to remember it and more ways to recall it later. Here's an example of a multisensory activity. Step 1 is to fill a pencil box with sand. The student says the word on the index card, in this example, it is said, and then traces the word said in the sand. Step 2 is for the student to cut the word apart and then glue it back together. Finally, the student can paint over the word that has already been written in white crayon in the book. When we look at this activity, we see that students have the chance to read, write, trace, build, and read once again. On this slide, we see several other examples of multisensory activities for reading. Putting hair gel into a Ziploc bag will allow the student to trace letters or words. This is fun and mess-free. Next is using Play-Doh to create letters. This can also be done with words. The third picture shows a student using sandpaper to trace letters with their fingers. The next picture shows using shaving cream on a cutting board, again for tracing letters or words. In the bottom pictures, students are using small toy cars to blend words and sounds together. We have now completed Module 4. Be sure to answer the questions under Part 4. Before you submit Module 4, make note of the resources linked and be sure to record any questions in the box. After you submit the module, you will receive a certificate of completion. This will be received in the email address you provided at the beginning of the module. Thank you for participating in the Paraprofessional series.